an idea. It comes from an authentic thing that the CIA did at one point, which creeps me out to no end. And it was kind of addressed a little bit in the movie Jacob's Ladder, but it was called Project Monarch, and it's when they were testing psychoactive drugs to see if they could use them as chemical weapons to fight wars. And so they were fucking around with all this bad shit, man. They had some fucking terrible chemists who were screwing around with all these different derivatives of psychedelics to try to come up with an aerosolized bomb that they could drop on the enemy that would make them hallucinate and unable to fight. And so they did all kinds of experiments. The CIA did all kinds of experiments. They wanted to find out if they could remove people's memories. They wanted to find out if they could reprogram people and make them do shit without them knowing it. Because the perfect killer is a killer who doesn't even know who they're working for. A perfect killer is someone who goes and does something and doesn't understand why they did it, and then they can't be like, no, I was in a CIA training program, and they fucking wanted me to kill a bunch of people in the theater so that the gun control laws would take our guns away. And the CIA really did, and perhaps they still do. They still did. They really did experiment with this shit. You could watch videos on YouTube of like troops being given LSD to see how they fight, and you can watch interviews with people. The CIA, I'm sure you knew this, but as a joke, after they bought LSD from Sandoz Laboratories from Hoffman, brought it back to the United States and started doing experiments with it, they were, as a joke, in the morning, they would put it in agents' coffees at the office. They'd put LSD into their coffee and just watch them freak out all day because they thought it was fucking funny. Nobody knew what it was at the time. It was just this weird drug that makes you act weird and see the walls breathe. And like, so Ken Kesey, there's a Netflix documentary called The Magic Bus. He was part of the CIA's when they were experimenting with LSD to see what it was. He went into one of their tests. Like, they're partially responsible for the 60s. Because in their experiments with LSD, they ended up giving it to college kids. And the college kids are like, hell yes, let's do more of this. And that started like a lot of the 60s movement. That was an inadvertent reaction from what they did.